and welcome back to another one. Today I have the Formuler Neo, and we are going to be looking at this, the Formuler Z Plus Neo. Formuler Neo, Z Plus, whatever you want to call it. Lot of stuff here to look at. They've also sent me a remote, so that way we're going to be able to check this one out. We are going to be using it and testing it, so it should be very cool. Now, first off, right off the bat, some housekeeping stuff. Make sure you guys do hit that notification bell, so that way you guys get notified on everything. Make sure you are a subscriber. Hit the thumbs up. Leave me a comment below. Let me know what you guys think. Hopefully you guys are having a good holiday season. I honestly cannot believe how we are in, like, 2020 is just about over. I think a lot of us are like ready for 2020 to be over. So make sure you guys do check out the description below for any links if you guys want to hook up a deal or anything like that. Make sure you guys do that. Now, if you are interested in this device, make sure you do check the description below. I will have a link and an email of how to get in contact with them, so that way you guys get hooked up nicely. Now, here is the device, and I should say the box itself. So here is the box. Let's go ahead and open it up and see exactly what we get. So first off, the box looks good. It's just a standard box. It just looks like they got like just the cardboard and slapped their Formuler sticker, so it doesn't look fancy, and at the same time the box is very durable. So just trying to open this up and it's not easy. So check this one out. So this is your standard that like it has their own little Formuler thing, their own little stamp. They got some paper right there. So this looks very clean and neat, nothing crazy or fancy. It's just there's the device, and let's go ahead and pull everything out of the box. Now here we go. First things first is I always look at the power supply to see if it's cheaply made or if it's heavy duty. It doesn't feel heavy duty, and at the same time it doesn't feel cheaply made. So it's just going to be just a standard power supply. So we're going to go ahead and test that on in a second. As for your HDMI cables, I always recommend to get something a little bit more, I guess you want to say just a more of a premium HDMI, because HDMI cables do matter. So if you use the stock one, you're going to get whatever stock it is. It says high-speed HDMI cable with Ethernet. So there it is. It's, to me, this looks like a standard cable. We are going to be testing this one. It does feel very durable. It doesn't feel cheap at all. Now, of course, you get this little book here. It just tells you some of the basic stuff. So it's just a book with some basic information. They do provide two AAA batteries. Never heard of the brand, but at least you do get two of them, so it's not bad. Now, the remote. One of the things I always like to feel is how light does this feel? Does it feel heavy or not? I know once you add some batteries in here, it's going to feel a little bit weighted. And then just as you can see here, I'm just trying to open up the back end, and I'm probably going to end up cutting myself here. So it was not easy to get this thing off. So just be very careful when you do take it off. And then when you snap it on, it does have a nice little snap. So again, here, as you can see, as I'm trying to pull it off, it does, when you do move it, it does give you a little lip right there, so you can pull it off a lot easier that way. It looks like there's like some kind of lock right there. So the easiest way to do it is push and pull, and there you go. So should be good to go. Now, as far as the buttons go, there is a lot of buttons on here. Some people like it, some people don't. I like when you have the numbers, and I like when they have a little bit of a shortcut there. So you got your home button, your EPG, you got your exit, your back, your up, down, your volume, menu info, just tons of options there. So I'll let you go ahead and look at the remote right there. Go ahead and pause the video in 3, 2, 1. We're gonna move on to the box now. Now here is the box. Now the very first thing I will have to say is, with this box, it does feel a little bit of I guess you could say a little heavy. When I first saw it and how small it was, I'm like, okay, it's going to be a cheap plastic. It's going to be very light. It doesn't feel light at all. It feels actually, it feels high quality, very high grade. There is the Z Plus right there in the front, the Neo. You got the Formuler logo there in the front. Very cool, very different from all their other devices. It does, again, just feels very good. You got two slots right here, so if you want to mount this on something, you have it there. Plenty of breathing room there at the bottom. Great stuff there. This light is probably just going to be a light. I don't think there's going to be a clock. So if you look at the side, you got nothing right here. If you look at the back, this is going to be your power supply, HDMI, USB, and then your landline right there. So very nice. Nothing here on the side. So you only do get one USB port. People will ask, well, how many USB ports do I get? So there it is. Wanted to be sure you guys are familiar with that. So again, it just looks really good. And here I'll give you one more close-up on the remote. There it is right there. Now, I've tested this remote before with some of the other formulars. And the one thing I will have to say is it does feel a little comfortable. I like how it has that little lip right there on the bottom. So that way it feels like you're grabbing it. Now, typically, you're not going to be holding it like this. You'll be holding it like that. So I do have, you know, 2 fingers right there on that lip. Now, as far as the buttons go, the buttons just feel smooth. Feels nice, comfortable, doesn't feel cheap. Again, just feels really nice. So we're not going to test this remote. We're actually going to be testing their premium remote that they sent. Now, this remote in comparison to this one, like weight-wise, this remote feels a little bit heavier versus the one that you get in the box. The remote here feels quality, just quality. So you got your Formuler B, T, Universal at the bottom. You got some of your sources here, some of your extra buttons to play with, your pause play button. The rubber on this thing, again, everything just feels really nice on this remote. Like the way they've done this thing is very, very nice. Here's your directional. A lot of people are going to be like exactly where that lip is at, and you put your, like, it's funny how it has like a little, almost like for your finger. You just put it right there and there it is. But there's your directional right there. It just fits right in. So everything is really, really good. Let's go ahead and plug this in. We're going to be using this remote and see exactly how this looks like. And we're going to take a look at the specs. Now, right before we plug this guy in, I did want to show you guys this. On the remote, I did put 2 batteries in here. When I did pull this thing off, it was very nice. It just popped off exactly how it should be. You shouldn't worry about it. There is some instructions in here that says pairing. You hit OK. And then you press the settings for 3 seconds. So pairing, press 3 seconds. So it's going to be the OK button right there, and then the settings button. So you got to push those 2 at the same time for 3 seconds. And I'm guessing there's going to be a light that pops up there. So I know it's really, really hard to see, but if you do look at it, there is a dimmer right there. So all you got to do is just hold that, and then it'll start pairing. And that should be it. So let's go ahead and plug this guy in. And here it is. We're going to plug the power in right here. See if that light should turn on. And there it goes. Like a pink, then white. So it looks like we're good. We're going to plug in the HDMI. And everything seems very easy so far. So let's come here to the device. So there you go. So right off the bat, I just, like, I'm not gonna pair anything yet. You know, I did hold it for a second. So let me just hit down, and good, awesome. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn off my camera here, walk you through the steps. So when you get to the screen, all you gotta do is just log into your Wi-Fi. That's it. Now again, we're just gonna follow the on-screen instructions here. So all you gotta do is just select your region where you're at, select your area, wherever you want to do. You want to use the format, 24-hour format, yes or no. I'm gonna hit no for now. And then choose your date format. You could just choose whatever format that you want. So very, very simple and very straight to the point. Now here you go. It's checking instantly if there is an update now that I'm connected to the internet. So here it is. I've covered how to use this stuff before. So interface looks really, really good. And let's just go ahead and go into the specs. So one of the favorite apps that I like to use is called IDA64. So check this one out. IDA64 has a lot of good stuff here. So here it is. Now the box is advertised as 8 gigs with 1 gig of RAM. So 8 gigs of internal memory with 1 gig of RAM. Now when you look at some of these, like your Fire Stick, the regular Fire Stick or your Fire Stick Lite, they're advertised the exact same way. So here's the difference though. People might freak out a little bit. 1 gig of RAM, yes. This is running the Formuler Z Plus Neo. But when you look at internal storage space, you're left with 1.5 gigs. Whew, I know people are going to be like, ouch. 1.5 gigs. So here's the good thing. Here is the good thing. This device does have a USB slot. So one of the things we tell people, just get a USB slot, plug it in, and then you should be good to go. We're starting to see a lot of budget devices that are now limiting that space where they just want you to get certain things. So I'm going to leave that up there so that way you guys can see it. Now here is the CPU. It is running a quad core ARM Cortex A53. It is a 64-bit. The display is going to be running, it's picking it up as a 1920 by 1080, so the cable that's in there is very, very good. Of course, if you upgrade it, you're going to get some better stuff. Now, remember, I am going through a 1920 by 1080 capture card, so it is going to run at its max capacity. So there is that, and then you got your GPU running a Mali 450 MP. So we're going to come down here to Android. It is running Android 7 Nougat, and the device is not rooted. Now, one of the last things I like to check, a lot of people might say, like, dang, Android 7? Remember your Fire Stick? It was running Android 7. It was running just fine. Androids, typically when we say when they're running Android 7, 8, or 9, like 7 is good. There's nothing wrong with Android 7. Personally, I like it when it's at Android 9. I'm kind of hesitant when I see Android 10. I'm just like, wait, has this been tested enough? But Android 7 we know works beautifully, so it's not bad at all. Now here is the codecs. So for the video codecs, it's running AVC, HEVC, you get MP4, MPEGs, you get all the different good encoders, AVC, HEVC. So you got some unique ones right here. And then you got some audio ones. You also got audio Vorbis, MLAW, ALA, 3GPP. You got your FLAC, your AMR. You got tons of stuff here. Then it kind of moves over to video. I'm kind of interested why. Normally, typically with some of this stuff, you do see that it is organized. You normally see all your audio at the top and then all your video at the bottom. A little bit of a mix around here, but that's okay. It is what it is. It does have the H.263 and H.264, which will be able to run 4K just fine. VP8, VP9. It has everything that you need. It's going to do the pass-through for your surround sound stuff. So it's got everything that your device is going to need. So you should be good to go with this device. So Formuler normally has some really, really, really good stuff. This device doesn't look like it's going to be like a bust. It looks fine. For me, I'm a little bit hesitant when it's like less than 5 gigs of free space. So of course they got their own hardware, they have their own system, their own software, all that stuff, so that takes a lot of space. And the way it's left was, you have about 1.5 gigs left of memory. So what that tells me is get a USB. Anytime you download something and you have something in there, use that USB slot to save your apps. I would highly recommend it. If it's too close to comfort, unless you absolutely know what you're doing and you really know how to plug these things in, it's gonna be a decent device. But we are noticing a lot of devices. You got your Fire Stick that is 8 gigs, and now you're left with about 4 gigs of free space. They're narrowing it down. You got about 1 gig on the 3rd gen and the Lite. And you have some of your other devices that out there that's also kind of doing the same thing. Buzz is doing something very similar. TiVo is doing something very similar. Chromecast is doing something very similar. So you got a lot of these devices that are now on the budget introductory. Check this out. You don't have to spend a lot of money for it, but you're going to get a lot of power behind it. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I try to give you guys as much information as possible. Stay tuned for the next one. The next one, we're going to be talking about the settings. We're going to look at the interface a little bit more, play with the remote a little bit. And yeah, hope you guys appreciated this one. Make sure you guys do leave me a comment below. You guys take care of each other, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, guys.